Hey you all, welcome to Inside My Window. I'm Lou Rayo. How you all doing? I hope everyone is doing well, and if not, our prayers and thoughts go out to you all. That said, I have a recipe to die for. You're going to love it. It's quick, easy, and time saving. I mean time saving. Wait till you see this. My sister-in-law last year, Lisa Klosterman, she made an unbelievable called a butterfly turkey. What? I know. I never heard of that. Some of you may, most of you may. Who knows? I didn't. And when I had this butterfly turkey that she cooked last year, it was juicy. Oh, it was so good. Well, I decided to do some perfections on it. Well, what I did was create a time-saving cooking method. This thing is going to be so quick, so easy, and yet come out tender. I'm talking about the white meat, not just the dark. The white meat is going to be so freaking tender. So my friends, we have no time to waste. Let me show you how to do this butterfly turkey. Butterfly turkey. Yeah. All right, my friends. I have here to go over some of the items that you most likely may need. Not all, but some. And we'll go over. And it's for the different type of ovens as well. Now, the turkey we're going to do a what they call a spatchcock, which is another word for butterfly. That's right. And we're going to stick with the word butterfly. More common when we're opening up the turkey rather than doing the whole traditional method, and that is a whole turkey, right? So that being said, let's go over what we need to do a butterfly turkey. Now, depending on your oven, you may end up using a kitchen standard oven, or you may end up using a countertop oven. That countertop oven could consist of being a convectional countertop. Either way, this method is going to work for either ovens you're using, with one exception. If your countertop oven is real small, you may not get away with that. Here we have a pan that's 15.5 by 11.5. Now, this is meant for a countertop oven. This particular pan is the Nova oven that I'm going to be using. Now, if you're using an Austin oven, those French doors, the pans may be just slightly a little smaller, but it's going to work. And that pan, you can use that as well. If your oven is smaller than the Austin French door, and it only consists of by a 9 by 13, such as this, a 9 by 13, this is for the KitchenAid countertop oven. Possibly you may get away with this. Well, how would I know? If your bird that you're planning on cooking for this Thanksgiving, your bird is 11 pounds or less, you may get away with a 9 by 13 pan. If your bird is 11 and above, I mean, let's say 12 and above, now 12 will fit into a Nova oven. Would it fit in an Austin oven? You may get away with that, maybe. But anything above that, I would go ahead and do it in a standard kitchen oven. Okay, so that being said, here, what we're going to use for the standard kitchen oven is these roasting pans. Now, the roasting pans, you can get them any size, 17 1/4 by 12, right? You could do that. 17 1/8 by 12 5/8, you could do that. Or you can even get one that's smaller, 16 by 12. Now, keep in mind, these birds, this one, the 12, the 16 by 12 and a half, this is great up to 25-pound bird. Now, why am I having all these 3 different pans if this fits a 25-pound bird? Most of us are not going to get any bigger than that, with few exceptions. Well, I just say that because sometimes you can't get this roasting pan because they're out of stock. But you can get this one, or you can get the one on the bottom. Either way, they all work great, perfect for the standard oven. And when it comes to other utensils here, what we're going to need is for, now you could do it this way too. By the way, I'm going to show you something. We can use, now these silicones here, they're great. They're roasting silicones. They just sit right on the bottom, right on the bottom. And voila, you could place your turkey, chicken, any poultry, bam, right on there. Easy to clean up, less mess. Instead of using these silicone inserts, right, we can go ahead and use a rack that came from our countertop oven. If you got one from the barbecue grill, you could do that too. So wherever you can get your rack from, whether it's an Austin oven, a KitchenAid oven, it doesn't matter. Now you could fit this baby right on top of here. And all you have to do to secure it is basically, you're going to take one end, just fit it right on there. You're going to take one end and you're just going to bend this forward meaning towards me, on the opposite side, bend this forward again, just like that. We get it secure, and then we can do the same thing. Once we have it all secure, we could do the same thing, and we'll bend this forward and we'll bend that forward. So this will be perfect for that large turkey that's going to fit into your standard kitchen oven, and it won't go into your countertop oven. So this is perfect. Place the turkey on top, and that's it. That's all you have. Now, I highly recommend that you get a probe that is a thermometer. I mean, you're not going to overcook it. You're not going to overcook it or undercook it. You want that bird to be exactly at 165. You don't want it no more, no less. Now, some of the birds, they come with already a thermometer, a probe inside, right? A plastic. Take that sucker out. They're not accurate. Just take it out. And use a real probe. And you may already have one. If you don't, this is for those who don't. You can get a wireless probe. Either way, they come wireless and it hooks up to your smartphone, Android, Apple, it doesn't matter. You could do that. You can get one that's not wireless, meaning not Wi-Fi. It does have a cord that connects to the actual temperature metal rod, right, to your gadget. And this stays on the outside of the oven or countertop oven, either way. And this goes into the bird. And then you can pretty much, control and be notified when that temperature reaches that 165. And we're going to talk about that in a minute when we get to the bird. But these, the Wi-Fi, the wireless, they will let you know on your smartphone anywhere you're in the vicinity, not too far away, some up to 30 feet, some up to 250 feet, depending on your walls and everything, and how far you are from the oven. And it will alert you that, hey, your oven is about, your bird is about done. Now, you can do it another way. Now, I advise not to do it this way, but if you have to and you have no choice and your funds are low or whatever, either way, these are expensive. You can get it for 20 bucks or more. But then you will use one that's manual. Well, when I say manual, I mean one that's not wireless. It doesn't have a wire hooked up. You got to open up the oven. You got to stick it in. You got to jam that bird to get the right temperature. So you got to time it. So everything is about timing when you're going to use one of these gadgets, okay? They're inexpensive. They're not too bad. And that's something you can do too. Now, your oven, some ovens like my Nova Precision oven comes with a probe already built in. So I don't need it. It's going to tell me digitally on the oven where that temperature is at. And that's pretty cool. I could set it, and same thing with the KitchenAid. If you have one of those KitchenAids, that comes with a probe. A lot of them do. And also Ninja, the Ninja Foodie oven, the very high end, comes with a probe. So you can use that as well. So that being said, we're going to need kitchen chairs. And that's going to help us to create the butterfly bird. So that being said, let's go ahead and let's get right to that bird. Yeah, let's get to that bird. I forgot to mention to you that we're going to do something a little different. We're also going to create a little steam in our oven. Now, steam helps to moisturize any poultry, fish, or whatever that you have in your countertop or convection. Due to the fact that I am using a Nova Precision oven, that is a steam oven as well. So for those who do not have built-in a steam function, I'm going to recommend two things. Now this is going to be out of what? The traditional method. So whereby we're going to have one extra pan, just one, and we're going to fill this with warm water. And when we preheat the oven, this is going to be on the very bottom rack, the lowest you can go inside your standard kitchen oven. Your standard kitchen oven. Again, fill this with warm water. You could get a pan that's smaller than this. It doesn't have to be this large. It could be a 5x7 pan. It doesn't matter. Just fill it with water and keep it at the lowest rack possible in your standard oven. For those who have a countertop convection oven, what you want to do is get an empty bottle and have some water in there, and you want to what? Periodically, when you place your turkey in that convection oven, countertop, you will spray, close the oven after it's been preheated, close the oven door, and once it's sprayed, it's going to create that steam. And then as time goes on, maybe every 15 minutes, open that door slightly, and you're going to spray in there. And what that does, it creates moisture. And that helps keeps the bird from drying out. Just a little trick. Now, you don't have to do that, because even without the steam function, this bird is still going to come moist. But we want a little moisture in the bird, right? For that little extra juiciness. Now, as far as preparing your bird, and what I have here, I have a 11-pound bird, and I want to cover, bear with me, I want to cover, when you purchase your bird, depending on the weight, most labels should have it in the back that tells you the time frame of what? When the bird is going to defrost. Because most of your birds, unless you buy from Whole Foods or any mom and pop organic place, they normally arrive fresh, not frozen. Most of us will end up purchasing a bird that's frozen. And you want to look in the back of that label, because they all pretty much have it. I believe they do, and they better if not. A good example could take up to 7 to 8 days. 7 to 8 days, my friends. That's if it's a 28-pound bird. 24 to 26 pounds could be up to 6 to 7 days. Now, in cold water, it could take up to 12 to 14 hours. Okay, I I normally take it out from the freezer and put it in the refrigerator a couple days ahead of time. And again, it depends. Now, this bird took about, even though they say actually they're right. They're right. 2 to 3 days. It took about 3 days for this 11-pound to actually defrost. Some ice on here. There was some ice. Now, that being said, let me go over here, because you know, you just can't remember every single thing. You gotta have things written down. But depending on the bird, this is why we're going to butterfly. We're going to butterfly the bird for this reason. If you were to do a traditional method of cooking, the bird between 8 to 12 pounds could be 2 3/4. I don't know why they do the 3/4. Anyway, 2.5 to 3 hours. That's pretty much for a 11-pound bird. A 12 to 14 could be between 3 to 3.5 hours, and so on and so on. Now, a lot of us are going to have company this year in comparison to last year due to what? The coronavirus, right? So now more people are gathering together. Whereby you're probably going to have between a 20 to 24 pounds. That's going to be 4.5 to 5 hours. And you got to keep track on that, man. And the way traditional methods is, you got to keep what? Marinating it. Open up the oven, marinating it, okay? Now, some people don't have to do that. They'll bag it. Either way. That being said, prepping is what? Get it out of that freezer a few days ahead of time. Put it in the refrigerator. You're going to be fine. If you want to do it the other method in cold water, you got to keep that sucker soaked for so many hours. I prefer get it out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator. Now, this is probably going to be the most difficult part than any other part thereafter. Once we get this bird, butterfly, the proper way, everything's going to be a breeze. So, if you have arthritis in your hands, and I think of people like this, you know, when it comes to cooking. If you have arthritis in your hands or your elbows, your shoulders, and you're struggling with some type of stiffness, you may want some assistance on this part. It can get difficult, but it's well worth once you breeze through this part. What we're going to do, I turn the bird over upside down and I place it on a piece of, kitchen cloth, which I'm going to wash afterwards. And this will help splatter or spill if it's still a little wet. You do want to pat dry as much as you can once you clean the bird. You've got to clean the bird. You've got to clean the bird. When that bird is defrosted, take it from the refrigerator, put it in the sink, and wash the bird thoroughly, my friends. Wash it thoroughly. Once it's complete wash, you get the gizzards out, you get the neck out. All you have to do is pat dry. You want the bird as pat dry as possible. It's a little moist, but it's just for demo here. That being said, you could start either way. What we're going to do, we're going to take our shears, kitchen shear. They're scissors. That's all they are. Okay? Designed for food. We're going to take the kitchen shear, and we could start either way. What we want to do, there's a spine right in the middle. Just like in our backs. No different. There's a spine. We're not going to cut right in the middle. We're going to cut along the side. And we're going to break up those little bones that's coming out from the spine. That goes this way. It intrudes into certain parts of the meat. And we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to start on this end. And all we have to do is take the kitchen shears and see where the bone is, the big fat piece right there. I'm going to start right there. See how easy that is? And I'm just going to cut. And I'm just going to cut along that. And where it gets difficult in this process is about right there, right in the middle. But that's okay. I'm just going to cut. Sometimes I got to rotate the shears so I could break up the bone. And then I'm going to cut just like that. You heard that? Nice. Let me bring it towards you so you can see what I'm doing. Just going to cut. Look at that. Nice. And why are we doing this? Well, we're splitting up the two ends. And this is what's going to create the butterfly look. And this part is going to be just a little more difficult. Let me go ahead. There we go. And I do highly, highly, highly recommend do get a, make sure your shears are sharp. If not, get another pair. They're not expensive. Get them sharp. Or have someone sharpen them for you. Or buy a new one. They're not expensive. Now, I can go either way. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut this. Going to get rid of the spine on the opposite end. You notice I'm using two hands. And I'm just breaking up some of the part of where the spinal part is coming out. Going like this. Now my bird, not too bad. Some of the big birds, and voila. That's it. Voila. Now, folks, listen to me. Don't throw this away. No. This could be great for stock, any type of stock. I'm planning on making turkey soup, so don't throw this away. Put this in a freeze-lock bag and freeze this. Make sure you write what it is and you date it. Yeah, don't throw this away. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And the next step is we're going to take this baby and we're going to flip it just like that. Just like that. And we only have one more step to do. One more. Just like that. All we have to do, we want to break the other part. This bone here, right in the side. You could feel this, baby. Right? You can feel that. So all we want to do, we just want to push down until we hear that crack. Nice. Yeah, that baby cracked. Okay. Now, this is what we call a butterfly. Okay? That's a butterfly. What I like to do, before I go any further, because I already have this on, now you could do this when it's on the pan. I'm going to make life a little simple. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to separate the outer skin from the meat. Okay, the breast area. And these are your drums right here. And here's your wings. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to slowly separate. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this in a second. This is all about simple techniques. We're not complicating cooking this bird. Now you can see, look at that. And you could feel some of the rim of the skin. I'm just pushing it away as I feel. I'm not making any holes, doing it gently. And I'm holding one end of the skin area, the end part, and so I can get my hands almost all the way down to the breast. Why am I doing this? Well, first of all, this is going to come out, I think, in my opinion, much better than if you were to do the traditional method way, keeping the bird whole and not butterflying it. What people tend to do, and I did a video on this a couple years ago on a Thanksgiving bird. I believe it was in a Ninja Foodie oven. And in that video, I explained that if you stuff your bird, whatever, you stuff it with stuffing, put apples in it. To me personally, this is just my opinion. You dry out the bird, and it does not cook evenly. So the heat does not distribute properly because it has, a lot of stuff in the bird. Let's not complicate that, because all that stuff could be done on the side. It doesn't enhance the flavor of the bird. Other people, they'll end up taking and they'll inject the bird. They'll inject it. And they'll put I'm sure it's absolutely great concoctions that they create. And then they'll inject it and put it in the bird. My problem with that is that when you create holes, juices starts to pour out, and that's where it dries up. Yes, you'll get that awesome flavor, whatever that concoction is. That flavor is going to be inside the bird, but yeah, on the other hand, you're drying out the bird. The less is more. Less is more. And what we're going to do, we're going to only use olive oil or coconut oil. I mean, you can use coconut oil, olive oil, even avocado oil. It doesn't matter. What matters is the oil that you're using. It's got to be one of those three. And most of us are not going to eat the skin, I hope. You're not going to eat the skin. So we don't need to flavor on the outside. What we're doing, and why I separated the skin from the breast, I'm going to take this oil and I'm going to pour it inside. I'm going to use my hands to rub around. You don't need much. You only need a couple tablespoons. I'll do it this way. Just get my hands nice and oily. Look at that. Just get it around the breast. We don't have to worry about the legs. We don't need to flavor the legs. Now, whatever seasoning, I'm using all dry herbs here. I have garlic, I have pepper, I have sea salt, I got rosemary, basil, I got oregano, whatever you want to use, you can. I'm going to, whatever's your flavor of dry herbs. And if you want to use fresh herbs, you could do the same thing. I think you get more result from the dry herb because dry herbs is more potent than fresh. But either way, and this is all organic. And I'm just going to put my hand in here, spread the herbs around inside. Just spread it around. And we're preparing this bird now since we butterflied it. It's going to make it easy because all we have to do is place it on the rack. And that, I did not mention this, and I should have mentioned it. You need to preheat that oven at 450 before preparing the bird. 450 Fahrenheit. That's right. 450, I know. Am I going to overcook it? No, not if you use a thermometer. If you use a probe, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. That's where that probe comes in handy. But 450 is high. I normally cook my bird slow cook. Low. Not too high. I know. I cook my chickens. Trust me, I do 375. I don't do no more. I don't do no less. Unless I'm doing survey. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. But, yeah. Now, if you want to put a little oil on top, that's up to you. If you guys are going to eat the skin, I advise you not to. It's hardening the arteries. You want to stay away from the skin. Don't even give it to your pets. It's bad for their digestive system. Trust me on that. But go ahead, then do this. Okay, either way. Now, before we continue, one would say, hey Lou, but this presentation is not going to look great on the table. Well, a bird, once it's cooked and you got it on the platter, it's going to look nice. It's not going to be traditional. No, it's going to be out of that comfort zone of what we're so used to, right? No, but most of us don't ever put a whole bird. That's long ago. We like to cut it up beforehand, make it nice and fancy. And once we have it on the table, it's already all cut up and we can communicate to one another, right? Have great conversations. We don't have to worry about who's cutting the bird. So this method is just as good. All right. Now that we got this covered, let's go ahead and let's get this thing on what? A roasting pan. Let's do that. All right. Now what I have my this is going to be my roasting pan. Many of you may not or have a dislike of tinfoil. I like tinfoil. I don't have a problem with it, and I definitely use it quite a bit. That said, we want to raise the bird. We want to raise it. Why? Because we want the heat to evenly cook all the way around this baby. That's the whole point. And when we have that oven at 450, it's going to, it's going to be magic, magic. So, however you want to place the bird. I place the bird long length, okay, just like that. Let me move this out of the way. Lois, it's messy. And let me just do a little sterilizing, if you don't mind. Do it, Lou, do it. Clean, clean, clean. Okay, just like that. Sorry about that. I like to keep everything clean. All right, as you could see, this bird is perfect, perfect, perfect. There's nothing else you need to do. You don't need to tie the legs. You don't need to. You could take the wings, and some people do that when they butterfly it. They'll take this part of the wing and they'll grab it and bring it under. You could do that. That's fine. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Tells you I cook a lot of birds. Either way, it doesn't matter. But now, what do you have to do? All you have to do, bear with me, all you need to do is now in your preheated oven at 450, all you have to do is place this there. You want to get to the lowest rack. Now in the kitchen oven, in your kitchen stand oven, depending on how big that bird is, you want this bird to be almost in the middle. The top meaning middle, not the bottom, the top. So if the top is real big, bubbly, right? So that is going to be the middle. So when you place that, that's where you count the racks. And that top should be in the middle. In a, countertop oven, well, we want to place it the lowest because we know the heating element, we don't want it to sit right there on top, right? No, we don't want to do that, okay? So if that is happening, well, here's another solution. You take tinfoil, for those who don't mind it, and that's what I do anyway. I do this regardless. I will put tinfoil on top so the bird does not get what? It does not burn the top. Now some folks, they like the bird to be real crispy on the outside. And for that matter, is because they love eating the skin. I highly recommend don't do that, but if you do, that is what it is. Then you place the tinfoil on top. Now what I do, I place the tinfoil and I only keep it on there halfway cooked. When approximately half of the time, when it's completed, then I remove the tinfoil and finish off. You could do it in less than the time. Now, the question is, how long does this bird take? Well, that depends. If you're going to use a probe that's wireless or not, it has a wire hooked up to one end and to the other, either way, that probe, you're going to set it to 165. Now, you can tell the probe to tell you that it's almost done. So I set this to at 155. That's right, folks. When you do that, this bird is still cooking, just like any other food. When it's in the oven, or even on a frying pan, either way, it's still cooking. Until that heat starts to come down, and it ain't going to come down right away. It's got to start cooling down. That's when it's going to stop cooking. But until then, it's going to cook. So if you cook it at 165, I guarantee you, when you check that bird probably about within 10 minutes, it's going to be 175, 178, 180. You don't want that. Then you're overcooking it, and then what? The white meat is going to be dry. Okay, we said all that. Now, the question is, Lou, where do I put the probe? Well, a lot of people will put the probe in the drum. And you got to make sure that the probe does not stick to the bone. It's got to be in the meat. You don't want it in the bone. I don't do that. I don't need to. Yes, the white meat's going to cook much faster than what? The drum, the dark meat. I don't do that. Because this bird is going to cook so evenly, I don't need to worry about what's going to cook first and so on. I'm going to put the probe right in there. So I'm going to stick my probe, my wireless probe, and I'm going to place it right in here. Or I can go this way. I want the thickest part of the meat. So matter of fact, I'm just going to go here, and this baby is going to go right there without touching what? The bone. Do not touch the bone. That's the breast. So I don't have to worry about that. Now, you could do it this side. That's fine. Either way, it doesn't matter. Now, let's take this bird and let's put it in our preset oven at 450. Oh, time. So if you got the bird, it's going to let you know. If you don't have a probe, I forgot to mention that. If you don't have a probe, then what you want to do, you want to use your manual, and every 20 minutes on an 11-pound bird in a countertop oven, you want to check it about every 20 minutes because this thing is going to cook fast and juicy. I'm telling you, it's going to cook fast. This will probably take about 1 hour and maybe 10 minutes. 1 hour and 10 minutes, 1 hour, I'm pushing it, 1 hour and 15 minutes, that's pushing it. A bird that's a little bigger than this, okay, so you just, it's going to be about an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours. Maybe. That's really pushing it. And that's saying in a standard kitchen oven. So you're cutting your time dramatically, you're cutting your time. Okay, let's do that. All right. Here we have this beautiful turkey, this 11-pound turkey. Now, folks, I did forget to remind everybody. So when you reach that temperature, 160, if you're using the tin foil, keep it on long enough and until it reaches the 165. Okay, you could check it from your wireless probe that connects to your smartphone, or you can use the manual. Okay, just stick it in there. All right. So what I want to do, show you, I let this cool down. By the way, this cooked it only took 55 minutes. 55 minutes in that convection oven. I know, that's great. But what I didn't tell you, and like I said, I always never cut things out. Nothing went wrong, but I let it cool for over an hour. I had to deal with UPS on the phone, and you know how that is. It took forever. Trying to get a new device that's coming in that I'm going to do a review on before the holiday. That is Christmas, before Christmas. Now, what you can do, this is going to be really tender. Look how beautiful this is. Isn't this great? We'll go ahead and cut. We're going to take off the leg. Now, you don't see steam coming out. Keep in mind, I could cool down long enough. Look out, but look at that. Look at the juices in that. Oh, baby, look at that juice. Look at the moisture. Oh my, it's so yummy. And get yourself a nice plate here, like I have, and just, you could place garnishes around there. do whatever. And I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to cut this part here. What I'm doing is I'm not cutting into the bone, I'm just cutting the skin and part of the meat, and I'm just going to just lightly break that away. It's so tender. Ooh, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, boy. Tender, tender, tender. Now, I'll go ahead and just a little bit of the meat. I'm going to take off the wing. Just like that. Just like that. Oh, yeah. Just a little bit to make it easy. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to twist this baby. Just twist it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just going to twist that baby. Just twist it. Oh, yeah. That's okay. That's all good. It's all good. Look at the juice. Look at that. And you could see on the cutting board, very juicy. Very juicy. And look at all that herbs. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Now, you can leave the skin on. I'm just going to take the skin off because we don't eat the skin. And I really don't recommend it. But right down the spine, we're going to go ahead and do the breasts. Oh, yeah. We're going to do the breasts. Oh, yeah, baby. And you're just going to go around the bone like that. And we're just going to go ahead. And this baby is just going to fall apart. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Ooh, ooh. And we'll just pull it away from the bone. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at that moisture. Oh, it's juicy, juicy, baby. Juicy. Let me go ahead and do the other one. Just go right down the spine. Right down the spine. And take your time when you do this. Just like I showed you in the other video that I did a couple years ago for a Thanksgiving on a Ninja. I did the Ninja Foodie. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. And just take your time. Just like that. Look at that. Ooh, baby. And we'll discard that. And we'll discard that. Now you could use this for broth. Oh yeah, great broth. Along with the gizzard and the neck bone. Oh my, oh my. Now, you don't want to cut the turkey lengthways because it's just going to break apart. You don't want to do that. What you want to do, you want to cut it this way. Okay? And you're just going to cut it on, not so much on an angle, because that will also break it apart. Just like that. Just like this. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. And look at the seasonings on top. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh yeah. Just like that. And I had a little bone there. I'll show you. That's going to happen. And that will happen maybe with you. Nothing to worry about. Now, like I said, if you have the skin on, you can go ahead and cut it with the skin on. And all you have to do is take this baby and place it just like that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you could do the same thing with this. Remove some of this and have this already cut and place it like that. And voila. You have a beautiful, beautiful dish of tender, moist turkey. Yeah. Let's just see how this is. Very good. The hardest part, most poultries, is getting the breasts really tender and juicy. This is juicy. This is so good. before I go, allow me to show you about this part. If you just want the drum, all you have to do is slice right down the middle. See how I'm doing that? And you have a bone there, and all you have to do is voila, just like right where the bone is. Hear that? Just like that. Oh yeah, look at that. You have a nice drum. Look at that. Do use a sharp knife. And then you can place your drums however you want to garnish. After you place everything, you could garnish around that. And then you have a turkey plate that is so beautiful as a presentation once you get it all done, right? Oh yeah. Well, friends, I think we covered everything, right? So as a reminder, remember, you can do this on any oven that allows 11 pound. Let's start out with turkey's good. Good turkey. Good turkey. I love my bird. You can do this. You can do this. Either a countertop oven, that's what I meant to say. You could do this on a standard kitchen oven. Either way, doesn't matter. Countertop ovens, a reminder, 11 pounds or less. Now, the Anova, which is the precision oven, steam oven, sous vide, you can do that in, but as well, that can go up to a 15-pound bird. Yeah, a 15-pound bird. So either way, besides the Nova, any standard, Alston, KitchenAid, if you have a pan that could fit a bird on, 11 pound or less, you're perfectly fine. And then anything above that, other than the Nova, for your kitchen, you want to use those pans. You definitely want to use those pans. Those pans, deep pans, are going to be great. You could use the silicone rack rather than the metal one that I told you about. And you could place that inside the deep pan, metal tin pans, right? And remember, put a little on it with the countertop oven. I mean, not countertop. Go ahead with the kitchen standard oven. Put an extra tray underneath. Get that steam going when you're preheating the oven, and keep it in there. Keep it in there. Countertop oven, you're going to have to open it. If it's not a steam oven, you're going to have to open it and spray it. Spray it every 20 minutes. That's it. And let me tell you, this baby is going to cook in no time. If it's a bigger bird, you're looking about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 40 minutes. The most. And this thing only took 55 minutes. 55 minutes. That's it. So my friends, I think we did well. I think we did justice. This is a great opportunity for you to butterfly your bird. Make it easy. No frustrations. Hassle-free. You name it. It's pretty much easy, right? And it's so good to the tummy. Yummy. Well, my friends, just remember that this Thanksgiving is about giving thanks to our family, our friends, all of our loved ones, and even those we don't know that may need somewhat help, right? That may not have a family, or they're starving, whatever it may be. But remember to give thanks to our Lord as well, because we have to give him thanks that we're here to cherish this one moment in our life, to be with family and friends. Until then, my friends, allow me to leave you with peace, joy, and happiness in all that you do. Thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving, my friends. Stay safe. Thank you. Take care. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What a turkey. Mm. Mm. Oh! Did you say something? Did you say something? Gobble, gobble. No, that was my tummy gobbling. My tummy's gobbling. Oh, my tummy. So easy. So easy.